What if I told you ASAP Rocky, yes leader of ASAP Mob, committed a justifiable crash out? Now in October 2021, a fellow ASAP member ASAP Josh had passed away, and Rocky pledged to cover the funeral expenses, to which he did. However, ASAP Relli, unbeknownst, confronted him about being fake and not putting on for the gang, covering Josh's funeral. Now a month later, Rocky and Relli met up at a LA hotel and talked about the whole situation, and Rocky allegedly pointed a gun at Relli, to which they were arguing, and he shot him. Now in August of 2022, the LA County charged Rocky with 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Now, due to the internal conflict and ego of Rocky rejected the plea deal, offered him 6 months, and Rocky right now is in trial, facing up to 24 years if he's convicted. But why is ASAP Rocky facing this felony gun case? Now, ASAP Rocky's felony assault trial began on Friday, and the rapper, whose real name is Rakeem Myers, is being charged for an LA shooting. Now, the prosecutors claim that Rocky shot his old childhood friend after a heated argument, but the stance of the defense is this is a money grab. Now, there have been many potential defenses that Rocky could use, such as the gun was airsoft or to start a pistol. However, it becomes a bit controversial because it's clearly a semi-automatic handgun, and they don't make semi-automatic starter pistols, which rules out that excuse. But what if I told you ASAP Rocky facing 24 years could have easily been avoided? But first, how did ASAP Rocky and Relli even have this major falling out? At a 2023 hearing, Relli recounted coming up with Rocky in the streets of Harlem as his two went to school together in New York City. Now, Relli would claim that he brought ASAP Rocky into the ASAP group, and the Always Strive and Prosper collective would continue to grow. Now, over the years, they remained close, but when Rocky's career started to skyrocket with the song Peso and Purple Swag, Relli and other members felt that ASAP Rocky was leaving them behind. But what made ASAP Rocky allegedly shoot his friend? In October 2021, a member of the group ASAP Josh had passed away, and Rocky said he would help Josh's mother with the funeral costs. But Relli fell under the impression that Rocky flaked on the guys and didn't really care and hadn't followed through with his word, and sent Rocky an angry text saying, "You are effing fake, it's sad." But Relli wouldn't be aware that Rocky had actually paid for the funeral expenses, and this would be all for nothing. That November, Relli agreed to meet with ASAP Rocky at the W Hotel in Hollywood Hills. Now, Rocky had a few other ASAP members with him, such as ASAP Ills and ASAP 12, but although these were familiar faces to Relli claimed that once him and ASAP Rocky met up, he pulled a gun on him and put it to his chest. Now, these two had a very heated exchange of words where they called each other pussy and called each other's bluff, but then Rocky ended up pulling out his gun and shooting him, hitting him in the knuckles.
I look off to the right and I see Jamel putting like kind of kneeling down, which is 12, ASAP 12. And I see him putting away a knife. So at this point, mentally, I'm already fucking furious, right? I see Jamel pulling a knife away. So I'm like, what the fuck you got a knife for? That's exactly what I say. I see Jamel pulling a knife. What the fuck you got a knife for? Because I'm thinking this is okay, if me and Rocky got a problem, it's a white flag situation. The other two should not be interacting. If anything, they're going to be de-escalating or breaking it up. So to my knowledge, I'm like, oh, hell no. So now I'm walking with them. And I'm literally screaming out at the top of my lungs, damn near, on how Rocky failed us and how Jamel went on tour with Rocky for about 8 or 9 years and he's back in the projects. Not that it's his fault, but this is the type of things that occur. You know what I mean? You pull a blanket away and there's nothing there.
Okay.
And then I'm saying other things too. I'm just verbally expressing how I feel. You know what I mean? Because I know I would never see this dude again. You just pulled a gun out on me. You know what I mean? Like, I probably would have walked away if I didn't see Jamel with the knife. Because I'm still with Ills, like right here.
ASAP has never addressed the situation publicly, but he's made it very clear, almost adamantly clear, that he plans on taking no plea deal. Now, the original plea deal offer that was given to Rocky was up to 6 months in jail in the LA County prison, to which he rejected. Now, with him going to trial, him facing the whole LA County or the LA unit, he's facing up to 24 years in prison. But also might I add the fact though, he's not actually going to face 24 years if he's convicted, because most of these charges are going to run concurrent, right? It's not going to be stacked up. It's going to be around the same time. And if anything, he may do 3 to 5 years in LA if he really loses trial. And there's not a lot of evidence that really portrays him in such a negative light. But what if I told you ASAP Rocky can still beat this case? Now, ASAP Relli and Rocky had a personal falling out, which led to Rocky allegedly shooting him twice with 1 bullet grazing his knuckle. But it gets even better for Rocky's defense, because the police officers searched the entire scene and found no physical evidence. No shooting, including no shell casings or no bullet holes. However, 2 days later, ASAP Relli will bring ASAP Rocky's gun shell casings to the police precinct in LA. Now, I'm not sure what level of the code that breaks, but I know when it comes to hip hop, the streets, and the no snitching policies, That is a whole nother level of getting your old friend that you no longer deal with indicted. Bringing shell casings to the precinct that closest to where the situation happened. We've never seen that before. But why is ASAP Rocky's main defense in this trial that he didn't use a real gun? Now, famous Florida attorney Bradford Cohen, who's known for representing Pooh Shiesty as well as Kodak Black, would explain the burden of proof that the prosecution needs to meet, and why the defense is heavily claiming that Rocky used a starter pistol, which isn't considered an actual firearm.
Let me just clarify this. Are you saying if the jury sits back and they go, wait a minute, I think he had a starter pistol. I think he fired it. Maybe that's what grazed, Mr. Efron's knuckles. But is that assault with a semi-automatic firearm? Wouldn't he be found not guilty?
No. So the long story short is a starter pistol cannot be considered a firearm because it doesn't fire a projectile. And if you look at the definition of a firearm, a starter pistol won't match it. The reason why they're saying it's a starter pistol is probably because there's a loud bang or there's a flash coming from it. That's why, it would be easier to say it was a airsoft gun or if it was a BB gun. But like I said, if there's a flash from the muzzle, if there's a loud bang, obviously you can't say that. You have to say it's a starter pistol. The problem that you have is if the state puts on experts to determine whether or not it could be a starter pistol, a semi-automatic starter pistol, I think that's kind of where it kind of gets a little bit murky.
Right now, Rocky's defense team is claiming that he used a starter pistol that only fires blanks to defuse the whole fight in the situation. But as of right now, there's no video evidence of the shooting itself, only security footage of the partial fight. Now, it's also very unclear if the forensic team can verify that the shells Relli brought in really came from Rocky's starter gun, whether if it was real or not. Now, the prosecution also hasn't provided any direct evidence beyond Relli's testimony that a real firearm was actually discharged that shot ASAP Relli. But why is ASAP Rocky's lawyer, who's potentially saved him from a whole lot of jail time, getting so much praise? Now, Joe Tacopina emphasized the lack of key physical evidence at the scene, saying verbatim, no bullet holes, no blood, no shell casing, which sort of feels like his own rendition of the O.J. Simpson, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. What surprised a lot of people was ASAP Relli taking a stand and physically pointing out Rocky as the person who caused him harm, verbally and physically assaulting him before shooting him. This trial has garnered a lot of attention, and although it's not as big as the Young Thug trial, it still makes you think that the fact that the police have found no evidence at the crime scene, and it seems like the only evidence that they did receive was from Relli, which could have potentially been tampered with because he put his prints on the shells when he brought it to the precinct. Like many people at first glance, I thought ASAP Rocky was cooked. You shot someone that personally knows you and there's a video of it, and you're probably going to jail. But after the facts came out that there wasn't any actual full proof of him shooting them, it could potentially be a prop gun. If it's a prop gun, it's not technically considered a firearm. There's a lot of little intricate things that are involved with the crime and the case that kind of gives him a little leeway out of the situation to a lesser charge. So then certain questions start to form. Is this a real gun? Did Rocky really shoot him? Where is evidence that directly connects Rocky to the scene, other than Relli, a jealous childhood friend of his, coming up with this testimony? Certain things that just really make you think. This Rocky trial is really supposed to be 3 days, but seeing the way it's panning out on social media, it's easy going into the next week. Now, with that being said, what are your thoughts on the situation? Is Rocky guilty? Will he go to jail? And if he goes to jail, how long do you think he'll go to jail for? Now, thank you for watching the video. It's Jared Star. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll get you on the next one.